Good morning, my Honorable Mr. Dr. Iko Mangbudiarte, SPD M.Hom MPD, as Supervisor in the Research Method subject. Thank you very much for the opportunity. On this occasion, I would like to present my research proposal entitled Improving Speaking Skill of the 7th grade students of SMP Negeri 5 Kuta Selatan in the academic year 2024 and 2025 through 3-step interview. But before I start, let me introduce myself. My name is Nimade Sarniase. My NPM is 210-18820-30069. Well, in this proposal, I would like to explain three important points. First, Chapter 1, the introduction. Second, Chapter 2, theoretical and empirical review. And the last is Chapter 3, research method. Now, I would like to discuss the first point in Chapter 1 for the background of the study, including the ability to speak is an important skill for English language learners. This allows them to express ideas directly during the learning process. And the second, in the Indonesian school curriculum, mastering speaking skill is an important priority for students. And the third, many factors prevent students such as they are not really confident to speak English, afraid of making mistakes, and they don't understand what they are supposed to say. Next is the teacher's teaching technique. The teachers use teacher-centered. This technique is monotonous, dominating the class and limiting students' speaking opportunities. And the second is research problem. The researchers formulated the research problem as follows. Can the speaking skills of the 7th grade students in SMP Negeri 5 Kuta Selatan in the academic year 2024 and 2025 be improved through 3-step interview? Next, in Chapter 2, theoretical and empirical review. For theoretical review, the following theoretical frameworks will be the main topics of discussion in this chapter. The first is speaking skill, the second is 3-step interview, and the last is assessing speaking. For speaking skill, the researchers use theory from Harmer 2001, Thornbury 2005, and Brown 2001. Next, 3-step interview. The researchers use theory from Kagan 2009 and the steps adapted from Kagan and Kagan 2009. And the last is about assessing speaking. The researchers use theory from Brown 2004 and they are criteria, fluency, comprehensions, and grammar. And the last discussion in this chapter is about empirical review. The first research was conducted by Fabrina 20 and 21, and the second by Umami 20 and 19. Both researchers didn't explain clearly the steps in implement the technique and use 5 aspects as the main criteria to score subject. In the present study, the researchers will provide a clear of 3-step interview step adapted from Kagan and Kagan 2009, and researchers will be used only 3 aspects as the main criteria to score the subject, such as fluency, comprehensions, and grammar adapted from Brown 2004. Next, the last chapter is, and the first discussion in chapter 3 is subject of the study. In the present study, the subject of the study is the student of the 7th grades, especially 7C, which consists of 30 students in SMP Negeri 5 Kuta Selatan in the academic year 2024 and 2025. It's concerning that the students are unable to speak English fluently, confidently, and show less interest in class. Therefore, further study will be carried out by applying 3-step interview as teaching technique to improve student speaking. Then research design. This study will be conducted as action research in the classroom, adapted from Chemist and McTaggart in Bern 20 and 10. Research instrument. In this study, there are two instruments, test and questionnaire. For test, this study use a free test and post-test for student speaking skill. For questionnaire will be given at the end of cycle 2 to assess their responses to the three-step interview technique. Next, data collection. There are three types of data. First, data demonstrating the subject pre-existing speaking abilities. The second, their increasing speaking skill achievement. And the third is the subject reaction to the utilization of the three-step interview. For data analysis, there are two data mass analysis. The first is the mean score formula will be utilized to analyze pre and post-test data. The second is the questionnaire data will be analyzed use a descriptive percentage method. And the last discussion is success indicator. This study aims to determine success in classroom action research by determining if first participant meet minimum requirement for mastering speaking. The English curriculum at SMP Negeri 5 Kuta Selatan required 78 points, with 80% being the success indicator. Researchers showed that at least 24 students in 7C class, particularly in speaking, could pass with a passing mark, halting the current classroom action study. Well, that is all about my explanation. Thank you very much for the attention.